So we're looking at the book Hidden Energy, Tesla-inspired inventors, and a mindful path to energy abundance. So in this book, we have citizen scientists, right? This is one of the things it's talking about in the book. And let's read what this says. It says, certain other open-minded hobbyists who, I don't know if I can pronounce this word, facetiously call themselves shade tree researchers do serious work. Many have spent decades in technical training and relentlessly continue to learn from experimenting. They research the peer-reviewed physics literature for clues on topics that sound exotic to the rest of us, such as nonlinear oscillations in cold plasma. They may have day jobs in industry, but their spare time actively does not depend on government or industry grants. That's what Tom Bearden would talk about, right? We talked about this. But their spare time actively does not depend on government or industry grants. Therefore, their research doesn't have to focus on incremental improvements to existing technology and doesn't have to avoid disrupting corporate interests. Instead, the hobbyists are free to focus on bringing clean power abundance to the people, unless they run out of money for materials, machining, or instruments. I still think it's critically important, just want to say this, that the goal be, for this scientist here, right, the citizen scientist, to make a toy, and the focus should be entirely on education. So immediately, like literally sharing everything you can on video about every step of the way of building the toy. And the toy has minimalism and simplicity in readily available materials, and showing how to put it together, how to make it in all the videos you can possibly make, right? And then it charges the battery or it powers the light, and it can put out 1 watt up to 100 watts of power beyond what it takes to run the system, which means it is plugged into the infinite wheel works of nature, right? As we saw in this graph back here, right? See this graph? Look at all those words. Inexhaustible energy, which pervades the universe and supports all energy, right? See all those words there? These are all words that are used to describe the infinite energy throughout all space that we walk through, the space that we breathe, the space in the palm of our hand. That's energy right there. The space that we exist in as well. Okay, let's see. So the goal to education is the goal. Education is the goal. Someone asked me that right in the beginning. They said, what's your goal? What's your goal? I said, to learn. They didn't say anything after that. What's your goal? I said, to learn. I'm here to learn. And I learn by sharing what I'm thinking about, just like I'm doing right now. This is an educational journey. So I'm reading this, I'm sharing my thoughts, I share what I think of. But definitely get this book for yourself and study it. Study every word in this book. Let's see what this says here. These inventors use or combine actions such as, okay, so these inventors use or combine actions such as, right, let's see what this is, employing nature's tool, the vortex, in converting energy. Okay, where have we heard about vortex before? The Paul Pantone's GEET fuel processor, right, Global Environmental Energy Technology. And there's other people that have other scientists that have experimented with vortexes of many different kinds. And I think the electron's in a vortex too, right? Think of Paramahamsa Tiwari and study all his books Study all the books available for Paramahansa Tiwari. Study all of those. That man was 100% dedicated to education. And he wrote books to share his theories. So we have employing nature's tool, the vortex, to converting energy, producing powerful effects like a miniature tornado would, understanding electrostatic, magnetoelectric, and other effects, capturing and reusing spikes of electricity for a power gain. That makes me think of like John Bedini, Gerard Morin, and many others. Tesla. Timing pulsed electricity for big output from tiny input. That makes me think of the Wimshurst machine. I mean, the Wimshurst machine, I'm spinning it by hand, and I can put out 260,000 volts up to 600,000 volts with this free energy machine right here. The Wimshurst machine is a free energy machine because it's pumping the energy. It's actually counter spinning in space, right? It's counter rotating in space. Isn't that a beautiful machine? That was made in Winky's workshop on YouTube. It's an absolute masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. It's the most beautiful Wimshurst machine I've ever seen. Or among the most beautiful. Definitely among the most beautiful. Okay, where were we here? Where were we? Do you remember? Capturing and reusing spikes of electricity for a power gain. Timing pulsed electricity for big output from tiny input. Recycling the electricity within a motor or generator. That's interesting, isn't it? Recycling the electricity within a motor or generator. I'm thinking of Thomas Bearden right now, because Tom Bearden would teach about, because Thomas Bearden was a researcher, right? He researched scientists throughout the world, scientists and experimenters throughout the world and throughout history, right? And Tom Bearden shared how he saw and understood something that sounds very, very similar to this, right? Recycling the electricity within a motor or generator, recycling it. There's ways to do this, many ways, right? The engineer's mantra, there's always another way. Don't forget that. So if we can't figure out how someone did something, we can use our own imagination, and we can study other systems, and we can study all the systems we can find, and then we can try to visualize what can we add to that or take away from what we see, that something may work, right? More efficiently, more simplistically, more minimalistically, right? Minimalism and simplicity. We just want 1 watt up to 100 watts, right? That's all we want. We just want to learn how things work. And it's absolutely necessary, and it's the most important thing, right? It really is. Because without that, those big energy machines, I don't think they're ever going to come out. It would be insane to think that they would, by the definition of insanity. Because all the machines, all of them, all the inventors that think their machine was going to come out, they never came out. So if 100% of the time they don't come out, what if all those inventors made a toy first? A toy that expressed some simple way of charging a battery or powering a light. It could be an LED light, it could be a AA battery, or it could be 2 AA batteries or 3 AA batteries these two powering this, charging this one, and then these two powering this one, sending the charge back and forth, right? Sending the charge in a circle, send it over here and then send it back, and then send it over here and then send it back, or whatever the invention may be, whatever it may be, but it to be an educational tool, right? And if someone wants to make fun of perpetual motion, we can remind them that language is for the user. And the meaning of perpetual motion, if they want to use that word, if an inventor wants to use that word, then what we're talking about is a machine that does need maintenance and is an open system getting its energy from the environment. And if someone tries to impose the definition of perpetual motion that it never requires maintenance and that it's not getting its energy from anywhere, I would say, does the inventor agree with that? Because all the inventors that I've studied have all said that their system's connected to the open super system of the universe. So it's powered by the cosmic energy, tachyon waves, gravity waves, dark energy, dark matter, virtual particle flux fields. That list that you saw over there, that list that we saw, right? This list. This is what inventors say right here. This is the words that are used. These words. Dirac C, cosmic energy, ether, negative energy, energy from the vacuum. All these words, right? These are the words that are used. This is where the energy is coming from. And all inventors agree with that. So this idea of perpetual motion meaning that it's not getting the energy from anywhere. No one means that with that word. So yes, perpetual motion machines do exist, and they need maintenance, and they're getting their energy from the environment. That's the meaning of the word. Why would the meaning of the word be defined by people that are just saying that there's no such thing as free energy? Why would that person be the only definition? If they get to say that, then the inventor also gets to have their own meaning, because language is for the user. Language is for the user. That means that everyone gets to say what the word means to them. Everyone gets to say what a word means, right? It's what it means to you. What does the word mean to you? Just like, what does art mean to you, right? What does art mean to you? Okay, what does this say? Separating functions of motor generator to evade counterforce. Separating functions of motor and generator to evade counterforce. That's very interesting, right? When I read that, I visualize so many things. And I think this machine right here, I think that's a G-field generator. I think that's that machine right there. See that? That's this. Let's see what they're calling it right here. American inventor John Bedini experimented with novel energy devices. Gene Manning photo. Mindful planning means keeping in mind that diversity furthers long-term success, whether in life forms, technology, an economy, or society. Students are open to new paradigm. Oh, let's see what this is. Oh, the list goes on. Okay, so the list of the, oh, yeah, look. So this is John Bedini right here. And this is a machine he was experimenting with. This can charge batteries, and I think it's also from a spaceship. This is a G-field generator, or gravity field generator, if I understand correctly. I think it's also called the Cromray machine. That might be what that is as well. And please confirm all this for yourself. I make mistakes sometimes. But this, that on top there, that's just helping to balance. Or I think that's the motor to spin this. That's what that is. That's a motor to spin this. There's also a flywheel that can be put on this, and that might be part of that. That lets this to be smoother, right? Because when this thing spins and it passes the magnets, it's very loud. It goes, tut, 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 tut. And on this one, it has 4 of these. It has these 2, and it has one on this side and then one on the back side, right? So it's like here and here, and then here and here as well. So there's 4 of them, right? But this always changes here. Like, so it would be south, north. Oh, wait. South, No, how would that go? I don't know, actually. I was going to say south, north, south, but maybe not. Because these have to be the opposites. This relationship must be maintained where it's south and north, and then this is opposite, right? South and north. So these two are opposite, these two are opposite. So these two are opposite these two are opposite. That's the requirements here. So if he has here, 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 and on the other side as well, I don't know what the polarity orientation is. But I thought he drew this out in the energy from the vacuum series, and this is what it looked like. And I don't know if I just drew this myself by looking at this, but it does look like this has more magnets. See, you can see them there, there, and there. Then it looks like there would be one across from this on that side. G field generator. So if that's a gravity field generator right there, then what do we connect that to so that it can actually levitate, right? Do we spin two counter-rotating discs and touch one disc to ground and one to air ground, and then see if the weight changes on those discs that are spinning, right? And I think of two spinning, counter-rotating discs like the Wimshurst machine, right? That's what I think of. Oh, let's finish with our words here. So we're at 16 minutes and 50 seconds into this video. I'll probably stop it soon and start a new one because I don't want to make it just real long videos. I want to make a lot of short videos so that they load faster as well. So let's see what else this says. Hidden energy. Okay, using super fast electronic switching. That makes me think of the universe, right? The material universe and the 0-point field are both sustained at a rate of 1 to the 120th times per second. So the 0-point field is charged by the material universe at a rate of 1 to 120th times per second, which is 1 with 120 zeros cycles per second, and then the material universe is sustained by the 0-point field at a rate of 1 to the 120th cycles per second, which is 1 with 120 zeros behind it. Those two different kinds of energy, right? One we call the material universe, which is force fields, and the 0-point field, which is also fields, but maybe it's a different kind of energy, and those two energies go back and forth and sustain one another. But somehow the material universe has less energy in it than the 0-point field. The 0-point field has 10 to the 40th times more energy in it. That's 1 with 40 zeros. And that's how much energy is in the 0-point field. That's interesting, right? So we can also call that cosmic energy. We can call it dark energy, dark matter, gravity waves, virtual particle flux fields. It's just absolutely beautiful. I just love to learn. It's very important to study these books. This is what's really missing on the internet right now. And I don't know when the internet will catch up to this. I really don't. Because there's just overwhelming bullies against learning this other information, right? It's just overwhelming bullies. Overwhelming. You know, and people know better. They just know not to deal with that. Not even go there. You know. But some people, like children, will go on the internet and say, how can I make a free energy machine? And then they get made fun of. They're not told to read these books. They're not told about the, how you can send energy from one set of batteries in series to another set of batteries in parallel, connect the negatives between the two sets of batteries, and split the positive, which is the positive goes through a brushed motor, or it goes through a light, an LED light or something, right? And you can send that energy from one set to the other set and then send it back and then send it back again and keep sending it back and forth. And we can even put a generator in there. We can have an electric motor in there instead of a light bulb, a generator. And that generator could be spinning, we can have a motor and that motor spin a generator, and the generator could be charging up And I don't know if we'd want to charge up the I guess we'd want to charge up the low voltage side, right? I don't think we'd want to charge the high voltage side. We could try it both ways though. And I would guess that we probably want to use a step-up transformer to step the voltage up to help fill those batteries up, because this is a sea of energy that we're in. If we look at space like there's no energy there, then of course that system would not work. But the proof of the free energy system is the power lines that we have. If we were putting enough energy in those power lines to power hundreds of thousands of homes, and you can add up how much power that is, right? We can average that out and calculate approximately how much power each house uses. The power lines would have to be about 4 feet thick, and they're not. They're not even 1 foot thick, right? How thick are they? I don't know how many inches thick they are, but they're not 4 feet thick, right? 4 feet would be like really high, right? It would be like really high, right? Like the power line's like this. It's like this high, right? Like that probably. It's like this high, right? A couple inches maybe, but not 4 feet, right? 4 feet's way. The power line would be like solid metal, right? Like real thick. We don't have that. So what's going through those power lines? Tesla's discoveries is going through those power lines. Tesla's free energy signal is going through those power lines. I think it's an impulse. I'm guessing it's an impulse. I'm still learning, so I don't know how it works exactly. But Gerard Morin had a lot to say about the power lines and transformers. And he expressed several over Unity experiments, which he had people that worked for the power company that were very knowledgeable about energy and how energy works in terms of like maintaining the power grid. And they could not understand what he was doing, like how that could work. It's because they never studied those other perspectives, those other points of view, right? They never studied these books either. So we are responsible for learning on our own and sharing and educating others, right? Educating generations past, generations to come, both. Everyone wants to learn, everyone wants to understand, right? And I would challenge the bullies, instead of bullying people, learn about this, right? Even if it was true that a person's job is to go on the internet and just discourage people and be a bully on the internet, right? If that was someone's job, if that was their job, I don't think it is, but some people say that that's people's jobs, right? If that was true, then the challenge might be to study this anyway, still learn about it. And maybe there's a job in new energy. And it might even pay better, I don't know. Okay, so let's see where we were. Let's see, so let's start at the top again. So using super fast electronic switching, designing with special geometries and natural ratios, drawing universal energy into a system via toroidal motion, coupling nonlinear devices into a series resonant circuit. I think resonant just means it's an oscillation. I think all oscillations are resonant, right? That's my understanding. And all oscillations are negative energy, automatically. If you have an oscillation, you have negative energy. That's my understanding. Please confirm that for yourself, though. And remember, whatever you learn and whatever you're told, still keep learning. There's more to learn, right? We want to keep learning those new points of view. As many ways we can see something as possible. Even when we know everything, that's still just the beginning. Everything is just the beginning. It always is. And that's a constant. Okay, what does this say? Coupling nonlinear devices into a series resonant circuit, discharging voltage abruptly into an unsettled plasma, imploding microscopic bubbles in water, cavitation. Interesting, right? Cavitation. One of the first videos on this channel was about cavitation. It was called Vaporizing Liquids with Sound Waves. And it was a ultrasonic humidifier. And I opened it up and showed water being cavitated. Through cavitation, it was turning into vapor. Absolutely amazing and beautiful. Okay, let's see. Discharging voltage abruptly into an unsettled plasma. Imploding microscopic bubbles in water cavitation. Making motional magnetic fields self-oscillate in magnets. Ooh, that sounds very interesting. What did this say? Making motional magnetic fields. Motional magnetic fields. That makes me think of the blotch wall. The blotch wall in the middle between the north and the south. When you move that, right? John Bedini talked about that, the blotch wall. He said the energy flowed in from space-time, from space. It flowed in from the vacuum and flowed endlessly into the your circuit, wherever you needed the energy to go, right? And I think of the Don Smith rotating separator coil as well. And know that even if we don't understand those systems, we can change them and make them work. Because there's always another way. Never, never, never give up. Now, some people never start, and they want someone else to do all the work, right? Some people say, you do it, I'll just watch you. That's okay too. That's okay. It really is. Those of us that are driven to learn and share what we learn and realize that we're learning when we share, we all win. It's a win-win for everyone, right? We're all in this together. But we must not bully people. I think that's important. Bullying and telling people to stop studying, and I mean, it's like contradictory, right? Because the bullies will say you haven't studied, when in actuality, the bullies haven't studied any of this. They won't look at this stuff. They go, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You know? And they might use a word like pseudoscience, right? That's a word that sometimes people would say, oh, it's fake science. Fake science? I mean, to me, fake science would be a science that tells you to stop learning. Science is all about discovery, repeatability, learning and learning continuously, collaboration, right? Education. What science would say, just read this one thing and that's all there is. That's the only truth. What is that? I think the word dogma is often used to describe that behavior, right? I don't know if we call it a behavior or a mannerism or what we call that. Let's proceed. Let's encourage one another. I think it's important. Now, I'm not picking on bullies, okay? I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, let's learn together. Imagine. Let's do this together. Let's work together. Let's build something. Let's make something. It's your world. Build it. Okay? Build your world. Where were we here? Who knows where we were? Discharging voltage abruptly into an unsettled plasma. Cavitation. Making motional magnetic fields self-oscillate in magnets. It sounds like motional. I think of the blotch wall. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. But the blotch wall, I think, can be moved. If you oscillate a magnet, let's say north and south, and we have a magnet, and we oscillate the magnet with a north and a south field that's really strong, and we pulse it here and pulse it here and pulse it here and pulse it here, and we have the magnet wrapped with wire. I wonder if we can have, if that wire would capture energy, if we put the big coil of wire around that, right, like between like 18 gauge and 24 gauge, right, or between 18 and 26 gauge, something like that, and have maybe we could say a lot of wire in there, and then that goes to a full wave bridge rectifier, and then to a voltmeter, or to a battery, or both, to a capacitor. And when that magnet is being oscillated like that, and that blotch wall, which is the area where it's neutral, would be moving, right? With each pulse, it would get pulled this way and pulled this way, or pushed that way and pushed that way. And as that moves, I wonder if there's energy in that magnet. I wonder if there is, right? Because Don Smith said it's real easy, and that's the only thing at the moment that I can think of a way of doing that. That's one idea. Try it out, and make a video on it. Call it extracting electricity directly from magnets, and that way I can find it, right? Extracting electricity from magnets. And then turn the comments off, please. I don't want anybody to get attacked. I don't want to see people getting attacked. I know YouTube has a zero tolerance for people being bullies, but it takes some time for those comments to get pulled down. And there's no reason for anyone to have to read someone attacking you. Why go through that? Don't put yourself through that. No one deserves to be attacked like that. Everyone told me when this channel started that they didn't want me dealing with the bullies on the internet. They didn't want me to have to experience that. And I said, well, I'm going to focus on the people that appreciate my experiments and that are encouraging me, which is most people, right? It's like 9 out of 10 people or 99 out of 100 people. And the few people that are just being mean and want me to stop learning and studying and experimenting, I'll just ignore them. But it was distracting me, because what happened was I would not realize that how much I was thinking about what was being said. Because sometimes someone would say something helpful and they'd compliment me, and then they would be a bully too. They'd mix it up. And I think that was kind of confusing me. So what I did is I stopped looking at the comments altogether, because I just want to focus on the video, on what I'm doing, right? I'm focusing on my education. And I'm going to look into these books in terms of like where I can get involved in groups of people that are researching together and collaborating, and I want to participate in that. So I'll see you there. I'll see you all there. Okay? See you in the groups. You know, where people aren't allowed to be bullying each other, right? That's not accepted. Just like in Roger EUC, Rogers Charger, the group that he has on Telegram. He has over 1,000 members now. And someone was just saying, wow, there's a lot of people here for a charger. Because that was made just for chargers. But what the response was, and I forgot who gave the response, but I think it was just a member responding. I don't think it was Roger. Said that this is a place people can come to get information about the electric unicycles. Because a lot of those people use his chargers. They charge real fast with. I'm actually surprised the electric unicycles aren't using graphene batteries yet. I think they'll be the first ones to use it. But I want to say this: anyone that wants to be extremely competitive in the micromobility industry, use graphene batteries. That's gonna make a company stand out so much. Graphene does not have a fire hazard. It has abundantly available materials, right? Lithium, no one wants to use lithium. We use it, but no one wants to use it. It gets hot if you charge it fast. It degrades it if you charge it fast. It has all these problems, right? All these compared to graphene, where you can charge it at 120 amps if you wanted to. I mean, if you had a powerful enough charger, you can charge it 120 amps. Our micromobility electric scooters come with like 3 amp chargers, and a 5 amp charger is considered a fast charger. Roger has a 4 kilowatt charger right now, a 4,000 watt charger, which can charge several scooters fast at the same time. Scooters or micromobility or EUC, anything that uses batteries. Graphene is whoever can make graphene work for their company. Rumble Motors is doing it. They're the only company I know of that was doing it. I didn't study all the companies, but they were doing it. And I think that they're gonna expand so big, or possibly just get bought out, for a huge offer. They might just get bought up. That could happen. For an offer that's so good, they're just like, yeah, okay. And maybe get promised that their product will still get put out there, and then it may or may not. I don't know how that works, but I've watched companies just get bought up all the time. It happens all the time, And but anyone can start a graphene company, right? If you set your mind to it, you can do it. You can overcome any impossibility that you think is there. And I think that using graphene is the way to go. And it has a longer cycle life. It maintains capacity even when fast charging all the time. It maintains capacity 20,000 to 30,000 charge and discharge cycles versus 1,000 charge discharge cycles of a lithium battery before how much capacity it can hold starts to go down, right? Now, G batteries achieved fast charging by changing an algorithm. They changed the way they charge the battery with pulses, right? High voltage pulses. And but that's in private industry, so we don't have access to that. But just using, as far as I understand, just really powerful chargers that we already have access to, especially with chargers like Roger's charger, with a 4 kilowatt charger that he just came out with. That kind of charger could charge graphene really, really fast. And we just use electric vehicle level 2 charging stations, which is wonderful. Let's go back to this. So graphene, graphene, graphene. Set your mind to it. You can accomplish anything. We specialize in overcoming impossibility. That's humanity's specialty. Okay. What shall we create today? I hope you have a beautiful day. Let's do this. Okay, so let's go. We're just getting started here. Where were we? Cavitation, self-oscillating magnets. We'll read that again. Making motional magnetic fields. Sounds like the motional, meaning I see that blotch wall moving, right? That zero area on the magnet where the energy just flows in from the 0-point field and from cosmic energy. And the virtual particle flux fields and tachyon waves, everything flows through there. Gravity waves, everything flows through there and powers up those copper coils, right? Making motional magnetic fields self-oscillate in magnets. Working with gravity or electrogravities. Electrogravitics, right? Think John Searle, Thomas Townsend Brown, Otis T. Carr, Ralph Ring. Even Paul Pantone with his Geet field processors said that his machine was bolted to a table and that table moved across the garage. And he doesn't think it was from the vibration. He thinks that thing lifted up and moved. And the Geet field processor was said to be what powers the original Star Trek spaceship engine. It's powered by a Geet field processor, a Geet reactor. And that reactor is not harmful to us. It doesn't have alpha, beta, or gamma rays. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, let's see. Electrogravities. Working with gravity or electrogravities. Creating excess heat via unique processes, neither chemical nor nuclear, right? That sounds good. Bringing in experts in nanotechnology and materials. Innovating with advanced alloys such as nitinol, nickel, titanium. Learning there's no direct relationship between the strength of a magnetic field and the quantity of electricity used to produce it. Wow, there's no direct relationship between the strength of a magnetic field and the quantity of electricity used to produce it. I always wondered about that. Very interesting. Question answered, right? Right there. That's a question I had. I have many questions. That's why I read a lot, because reading creates new questions and answers old questions. It answers questions I didn't even know I had as well. Varied breakthrough energy inventions exist in many categories. It's not a competitive case of one technology being the winner or one person single-handedly serving the world. The new energy field can be compared to a forest with diversity: pine, birch, cedar, willow, larch, and other species that support each other. Trees in a natural forest connect through their roots and miles of tiny filaments and are not just a monoculture as in a tree plantation. Each variety has its place in the sun or shade in an interconnected ecosystem. What's this? I don't know what this is. It has numbers here. but I don't know why it starts at 11. Let me see if I can make sense of this. If there's like a 10 over here somewhere. I'm not really sure what happened, how I lost, because I did skip some pages, so I just want to see if I missed something that was being continued here. Oh, there's 9 at the bottom there. Oh, there's 10. So I think, oh, these are, it looks like important notes here. Let's go ahead and go back and glance at these bottom numbers. 6. I don't know how I didn't see that. Well, it's easy to miss things. The important thing is that we notice what we miss, right? Okay, let's go back to, I'm not going to go all the way back, but we could go to 7. So this looks like might be some kind of website, right? So go ahead and write that down, or look at that. Is this phone? Okay. And then we'll go forward. So we'll see 8. Oh, we see Peter Lindman? This is Peter Lindman here. Brilliant, brilliant man. Dedicated, lifetime dedication of researcher. Great gentleman. I called him late one night on the phone. I think his phone number was in a book I was reading. And his wife answered. And I felt bad calling so late, but she said, let me see. And I said, I can call back. And we ended up talking for hours. That was years ago. That gentleman is absolutely amazing. Absolute humanitarian. Humble, dedicated to learning and education. Dedicated. Very appropriate that he's right there in the book in the front. Very appropriate. Okay, like I said, get the book and you can read all about this. I'm just kind of glancing through here, and we're going to look at different things in the book. But, you know, people, when I read in books, people always say, oh, you know, where can I get the book? Or, you know, but luckily this book, I got this on Amazon. So this is easy to buy. I mean, there was a book, Paramahamsa Tiwari book, was $3,500. And that goes against Paramahamsa Tiwari's wishes, which he doesn't want his books going for those prices when they're out of print, you know. And I do hope that the books that are out of print can be brought back. All of them can be brought back, including I forgot the name of the book at the moment. I think it's called Free Power Generation or something like that. That's a really good book, Free Power Generation. Very good book. Yeah, that's a book that needs to be in every library. So that whole collection, every single one needs to be in every library in the world. It really does. It needs to be available for people. Let's see what this is. According to the International Energy Agency's World Energy Outlook 2018, the number of people in the world without electricity fell below 1 billion in 2017. However, progress continues to be uneven. Uneven? Progress continues to be uneven. In 2018, 3/4 of the people who gained access to electricity since 2011 were concentrated in Asia. Oh, I see. It's not everywhere evenly. It's just in certain places. Okay. That's an enormous number. It says that in 2018, the number of people in the world without electricity was just below 1 billion, almost 1 billion people. Oh my goodness. There's no need for that. Okay, I challenge, because look, the bullies are so passionate, right? And someone told me this before. I've heard this from people before. They go, oh, you get those bullies, and you convert them to understand this energy. And they become great advocates because they got so much passion, right? Right now they're using their energy, right, to knock people down. But it's actually a much greater energy that you actually get, much more excitement when you lift people up. So I'm challenging all the internet bullies right now, all of them. I'm challenging all the bullies, okay? Internet and non-internet. Study, study, study. And you will be a contributor to the betterment of humanity. What can be greater than that? Right? We can help get these people electricity. Make that 1 watt to 100 watt toy that teaches the other 7 billion people, or why not all the 8 billion people, the theory and the mechanics of how efficient energy is accessible and works. And just watch the world create itself in a new light, right? Watch the world create itself and recreate itself in a new light each and every day, and with each and every new breath. Right? Light is only one toy invention away. One toy invention. Everybody's trying to build these big energy things, right? Oh, it has to be 300% to qualify as free energy. It has to be 300% over unity. It has to be a certain amount of kilowatts, over 5,000 watts or over 300 watts. Make a 1 watt system, 1 to 100 watts, right? 1 watt to 100 watts, watt hours, right? 1 watt an hour to 100 watts an hour. That charges batteries, powers the light, teaches the fundamentals of cosmic energy, dark matter, tachyon waves, gravity waves, virtual particle flux fields. All these different names, all these different words, 0-point energy, Dirac sea, ocean of energy, right? Ocean of electrons. We need the toys. Everyone needs their toys, right? We need our toys. I'm calling it a toy because it's small. It's going to be small, simplistic. It's going to educate. That's what we need. We need education. Everyone knows that. But can you build it, right? Of course you can. Everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And we must do it. And if we don't know how to do it, we can learn how to do it by doing it. Who said that? How many hundreds of years ago did we learn that? By Leonardo da Vinci. He said that which one must learn to do, one can learn by doing. That which one must learn to do, one can learn by doing. We just have to do it. We have to set our mind to it and do it together, right? Let's do this. Where were we? Okay, we're at 48 minutes. I'm going to stop this video soon. Where were we? Did we read this? We read this one. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. See you in the next video. I hope these videos load quick. I really hope you can see this video soon, but you'll get it. You'll get the video. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye, everyone. Don't forget, hidden energy, right? Hidden in plain theoretical sight. Hidden in plain theoretical sight, right? It's right there. It's in the palm of our hands. The solution for the betterment of humanity rests in the hands, imaginations, and minds of everyone. See you soon.